Some movies we enjoy no matter what. They may not be perfect, they may not even be good at all, but for some reason, we just end up enjoying them. Over the years, I've seen so many movies I could fit into a guilty pleasures list that I thought it would be a crime not to make a video on them. As stated before, these aren't going to win any Oscars, and in fact, some of them may have even won a couple of Razzie Awards, but regardless, I like them for what they are. Sometimes dumb fun can be the best thing to unwind with, especially if it comes with a good memory or two around the time of the movie's release. So, here we go. Here are my top 10 guilty pleasure movies. Number 10, Hes Been Sheriff, When Nature Calls. I remember seeing this movie ages ago with a friend and laughing hysterically at the admittedly stupid jokes that made up the bulk of this movie. Everyone I talk about it with in the present seems to really dislike it when compared with the original. But to be completely honest, it really isn't much of a step down from the type of humor that was in the first movie. In fact, I'd argue that while When Nature Calls isn't quite as good as the first Ace Ventura, it really isn't that bad either. Is it a good movie? Well, it's certainly not going to win any awards or impress the public with stellar acting and mind-blowing special effects, but damn it, it's funny. It's really funny when it's at its best, and some scenes pop in my mind immediately whenever anyone brings it up. How can you not laugh your ass off at the rhino scene? Just thinking about that makes me smile. A dumb movie, most certainly. But trash? Give me a break. We all could use a dumb laugh. Batman Forever. Okay, just saying the words triggers some Batman fans all around the world. How could you like such a shitty excuse for a Batman movie? Are you insane or just stupid? The creators of the Batman animated series even did an episode lampooning the director of this movie and the next truly awful Batman movie, Batman and Robin, by having a small child with the same name as the director look up at Batman and suggest he be more feminine and flamboyant. Hilarious as that is, being honest, I actually enjoy Batman Forever. I even think it's an okay movie. Now, is it among the greatest of the Batman movies? Of course not. Did it feature the characters from the comics accurately? Not everyone, no. In fact, most people would say it did no justice for anyone in the comics. I have to disagree there. You see, I own several Batman graphic novels. I've read tons of stories about him over the years and watched every movie and every episode of the animated series as a kid. Keeping it real with you guys, I have to admit, I think they did Batman, Robin, and the Riddler just fine. Two-Face? No, Two-Face is garbage in this movie. Now, some can say the Riddler is overtly cheesy and over the top, but there's a basis for that in the old school Silver Age comic books from the 40s and 50s, which were really retarded and over the top with science fiction and rockets and laughing fish and all kinds of crazy weird stuff. And they were clearly trying to imitate Riddler from the 60s TV show, and I honestly would say they nailed it. I don't care for what anyone says, the Robin in this movie is the best Robin we've ever gotten in a Batman movie. If anyone suggests Joseph Gordon-Levitt, then I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but he doesn't count. Robin's name isn't Robin. It's Dick Grayson. At least the first Robin was Grayson, but anyways, there's all kinds of Robins. There really hasn't been anything close for me outside of this movie of someone feeling like a suitable partner for Batman. Even this same Robin in the next movie in the series is a lackluster follow-up to himself. Do I think it's a great example of cinema and one to be remembered throughout the pantheons of time? Absolutely not. It's riddled with so many dumb things and mistakes that I can't possibly think of it in that light. But it does take me back to those sweet 1990s early CGI spectacles full of extreme action and over-the-top villains I grew up watching and smiling at. I'll watch this stupid cheese fest almost any day of the week. Well, almost. Number 8. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. I was a bit of a tag-along back in the day. I'd hang out with some of my older cousins and check out the things they'd grown up with and what kind of stuff they liked often. I had a couple of cousins born in the late 80s and some born in the early 90s like myself, but I also had 2 cousins born in the early 80s who would stop by occasionally too. One of them loved Ninja Turtles. I mean, every NES game, every movie, he probably watched every episode. He freaking loved the Ninja Turtles. This crossed over when I watched his VHS copy of TMNT 2 years ago. It came out in 1991, so it's still in that weird moment in time where it's not uber 90s and it's still got some 80s isms, if you know what I mean. It was made for the crowd that actually experienced the Turtles back when they debuted, and I still love it. It's not a very good movie, and it definitely has a ton of flaws. I can't really dislike it, though. Sure, it's mediocre as hell and really goofy to see two giant monsters called the Shredder Mama, but it's also got that catchy Vanilla Ice rap song and a lot of cool Ninja Turtle practical effects I remember thinking were amazing back in the day. This one definitely is the definition of a guilty pleasure. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Okay, this is going to be weird. Probably super controversial. Had it not been for the notoriously bad reception this movie's gotten with fans of the original Star Wars movies, I wouldn't have included this one on the list. But due to the fact it seems to be universally hated on the internet, I feel like I had to put it on. In reality, I may be committing blasphemy to some Star Wars fans by saying this, but I don't think it's that bad of a movie. I'm aware of all its shortcomings, yes. Jake Lloyd's acting is terrible, the stiff dialogue is present throughout the whole movie, there's a lack of a clear protagonist, weird spots with humor geared towards what was actually my age group at the time of this movie's release back in 1999, and of course that humor centered around Jar Jar Binks. I don't hate Jar Jar. Do I think he's stupid? You bet your ass I do. But honestly, he was written stupid. It's kind of his purpose to just be an idiot. Now, is that necessary? Well, actually, yeah. Jar Jar actually exists, in my mind at least, to balance out the overlong political scenes that populate most of the movie and push the conflict further. I didn't know what the fuck was going on with the plot when this thing came out, but I did know Jar Jar was a dummy that these characters needed to navigate through the planet and rally the Gungan army at the end to help find the Trade Federation droids. Now, he's a necessary dummy. Is this a good movie? I honestly think it's just fine. Had Jar Jar remained mute like Chewbacca and just said like squeaks or some sort of roar, the people would have loved this movie I think a little more. It doesn't tell the conventional hero's journey story the way the original three did, and resorts to more of a significant account of the events leading up to Anakin's turn to Darth Vader. It's a big mess in some areas, but I can't deny how appealing it is to look at and how awesome Darth Maul is during the lightsaber fight at the end, with John Williams' amazing music booming in the background. Plus its lows better than the super mediocre Attack of the Clones. Like I said, if the world didn't want to put Jar Jar's head on a stick, I wouldn't have put this one up here, but seeing how they do, I felt necessary to admit that I think it's an okay movie. I don't love Jar Jar, but I don't hate him. Extremely flawed? Yeah, but enjoyable to me. Number 6, Anaconda. Oh, what a cheesy movie this is. Ice Cube, Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson, Jon Voight, all in a boat on the Amazon getting terrified of a giant snake that's clearly meant to cash in on the success of Jurassic Park. How more 90s could you get? This one speaks for itself in terms of entertainment value. It's got everything. The crazy guy who wants to feed people to the anaconda, the goofy reactions when the snake comes out of the water, the sad moment you see the monkey enter the screen and you know it'll be on the snake's menu, and the creature effects itself being later animatronic effects and extremely early CGI. I have so many memories of this turd back in the day that I just can't erase from my mind. If the year 1997 jumped up and became self-aware and decided to manifest itself in a physical form, it would be this movie on VHS. Number 5, AVP, Alien vs. Predator. Oddly enough, I just got done talking about this one earlier on my channel. What a poorly written mess of a film it is, but also what a brilliantly thought out concept as well. Aliens and predators in Antarctica fighting underneath the ice in a giant pyramid. Holy shit, sign me up, get me centered theater seats with a big bag of popcorn and a large drink. After watching this Jim, again I realized how ridiculously likable it was for me. It still pops up in my head sometimes for no other reason than the sheer awesome scene where the predators and aliens clash. Awesome scene where the aliens and predators clash. Yeah, overall the movie is full of deep problems, plot holes, mistakes, and trashy dialogue, but I find so much to enjoy in the setup and action that I can't take my eyes off of it whenever it's on. A dumb movie, sure, but one I'll gladly pop in and stare at, enjoying the brain matter melt out of my skull because it's just too much early 2000s fun to not pay attention to. Number 4, Godzilla, 1998. I caught this thing in the theater back in the day, and boy did I enjoy it. If you were a kid back in that time period, you definitely remember the heavy marketing campaign that went into this movie. At every toy store, they'd have aisles dedicated to this movie with posters that read, his foot is as big as a bus, or size does matter. The Taco Bell commercials were my favorite with the dog. Remember those? Oh man, looking back now, it's another dumb Jurassic Park knockoff, this time complete with ripoffs of everyone from Friends. And I'm serious, everyone. Rachel, Joey, Phoebe, Ross, Chandler, Monica, they all make appearances in this movie. It's hilarious, even Siskel and Ebert are referenced. Everyone and their mother seems to think this is one big pile of garbage, but honestly, I enjoy the smell of this trash heap. It's one big joke of a movie that either does or doesn't take itself seriously depending on how far in you're watching it, and the nostalgia is enough to bring me back to those simpler times. Plus, Baby Godzillas are clearly Velociraptor ripoffs, so that's always fun to see. Predator 2. Oh, while I don't think this one is very bad, I'm super aware it's nothing like the first one. Predator 1 is an iconic classic in my opinion, and one of Arnie's best movies. Predator 2 is a fun sequel with dumb things mixed in to keep it from being a really decent follow-up. But damn it, this dumb shit is why I like it so much. Gary Busey is in this as a government agent determined to catch this predator eating dead cows in a meat freezer, and the only thing that stands in this predator's way is Danny Glover, who's really pissed off the predator killed some of his buddies and all the gang members on the streets. Okay, so he's not that upset about the gang members getting murdered, but he is super mad at the predator killing, his fellow cops. Cool setting, fun scenes, dumb acting, ridiculous sequences where Danny drives his car into open fire like it's just another day at work. You betcha it's corny, and that's why I love it. Number 2, Commando. Holy shit, this movie is amazing. Every word that comes out of Schwarzenegger's mouth is quotable, and the entire Taken franchise owes its success to this movie. I love everything about it. It's absurdly over the top and the definition of 1980s action movies. No one fucks with Arnold's daughter. He'll drop you off a cliff, he'll impale you on a broken piece of wood, snap your neck on an airplane, chop your arm off with a machete, stick a pipe through not only your body, but the steam-powered machine you're standing in front of. Everything is awesome in this movie. It's absolutely amazing and great. I love it. Okay, number 1. My greatest guilty pleasure in the universe of all time for eternity, Mortal Kombat. So many memories. I first saw this on TNT back in the mid to late 90s and watched it several more times growing up over the years. Again, a super corny movie, but so much fun to watch. When Shang Tsung says, "Your brother's soul is mine," I get a big dumb grin across my face. I work out to some of the songs on this movie's soundtrack all the time. That crazy blend of hard metal and techno music is so awesome it commands you to listen. The fight scenes are amazing, the special effects hilariously dated, and the dialogue stupid as hell, and that's what's so damn fun about it. The whole movie's a ripoff of Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, and it's almost self-aware of it. This movie is just too enjoyable to say it sucks, because it doesn't suck. It's stupid, it's a ripoff, it's unoriginal, and it's written poorly, all the while being super fun to look at, full of badass fight scenes, crazy facial expressions that only the 1990s could do, and has that killer soundtrack blasting in the background for your ears to enjoy. I love it. It's dumb, and I love it. It's definitely the one movie I remember getting the most playtime in my neighborhood that wasn't like a cartoon back when I was a kid, and that wasn't Jurassic Park. Definitely nowhere near as good as Jurassic Park, but definitely a guilty pleasure I'm proud to say I enjoy. Well, that about does it, guys. Those are all the dumb movies I love to watch and destroy my IQ points with. Hopefully, some of you share the same opinions as me and enjoyed this list. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it greatly if you left a like so you can see more of this stuff in the future. Comment down below and tell me what your favorite guilty pleasure movies are. Who knows, they may be featured here sometime in the future. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and have a great day, guys. It's been really fun.